Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us at this hour. I'm Eran, Group Product Manager at Google Cloud. And over the next 45 minutes, we'll talk about what's new with AI search. We'll show you some of the new capabilities. Yeye will be here on stage. And then you'll hear from our friends at Wirecutter and Priceline about the things that they have been building recently. All right. So I want you all to think for a moment about the way you search and discover. Think about how you search, discover, shop, or interact with brands today compared to 1 or 2 years ago. And it's completely different. User behavior is changing fundamentally in how they find information. And your customer expectations have never been higher in terms of the experience. Let's break down what that means and what that looks like for all of us. All right. So in the past, users would type short, specific keywords and get a list of results, and then they'd have to sift through those results. It wasn't great. Recently, or today, what we see is users ask semantic questions, and then they get intuitive answers to those questions. But now we are in a new era. It's agentic discovery. And this era is highly conversational, it's visual, and it's highly personalized. The users today, when they search, they expect AI to do the heavy lifting for them, summarize their information for them, and even be able to take action on their behalf. This is now becoming the new normal, which all of us should be building for. But then I don't know how many here have built a search engine production ready from scratch, but it's not very easy, especially not if you want to reach this experience. And it's difficult because of 3 main traps that we've been seeing. One is data silos. So data is highly fragmented. It could be in structured catalogs, in unstructured assets like videos or images. It could be just across the web. You're trying to get information from other sources that are not within your data sources. Number 2 is the DIY AI trap. So trying to stitch together LLMs with vector indexes and shards and maintaining that in production at scale is difficult to do. It's expensive and it's hard to maintain. And then number 3 is relevance. So balancing semantic understanding with keyword matching, with image and multimodal content, that's really hard to do and get right for high quality search results. So DIY is not great, but what is the alternative? So the alternative is not necessarily giving up control. It's about building on a more powerful foundation. And it's about shifting your resources or the amount that you are spending time building from managing pipelines and managing quality tuning to actually building new experiences. So AI search gives you that experience. With AI search, you are building on top of Google's proven technology. It's fully managed service that could take in all of your fragmented data sources, index it, summarize it, make it actionable. And our customers are seeing real needle-moving impact with AI search. So across our global portfolio, we've seen AI search drive 19.5% increase in click-through rates, 30% boost in time spent on site. We've seen reduction in support tickets because users can find information faster and they don't have to contact support. And you'll hear more from the Wirecutter and Priceline about what they have been seeing with their implementation of AI search in terms of business impact. So AI search, high level, it reduces churn, increases conversion, it leverages the same technology that Google.com uses, and the same transformations that you see on Google.com with AI overviews and AI mode, they're now within AI search, and Yeye will talk about that in a minute. All right, so what do we offer? What is the product? So across our portfolio, we meet you where you are. So we give you a complete spectrum to build on. On the one end, you have maximum developer control. On the other, you have insanely fast time to value. So if your engineering team wants to build from the ground up without worrying about the underlying infra, we have Vector Search 2.0 or Agent Retrieval, which is our next generation vector search engine. If you're focused on orchestrating custom AI search and connecting to agents, our Knowledge Engine or RAG Engine APIs are available to build, ground your results, and scale. But if you want a deeply personalized, agent-ready search experience that you could deploy relatively quickly and start seeing value fast, we have our fully managed AI search offering. And one thing to note is that it's fast to get started. There's a lot that is built in, but it's still a clear box. So you're not giving up control. You could still control your experience, and I'll show more what that means. All right, so when you choose our fully managed AI search, everything starts at the center. We ingest all of your siloed data, your structured catalog, unstructured content. If it's a site search data, all ingested into AI search. And then from that foundation, we enable 4 transformational experiences. So first, we power highly personalized multimodal search, so users can always find what they're looking for. Second, personalized browse and tailored feeds to drive continuous discovery. Third, the same transformations on Google.com, AI overviews, AI mode, that is available to be built with AI search, so you could generate answers instantly. And then finally, I'm sure you've heard about agents over the past 2 days, but it is an agent-ready product. You can connect AI search to your agents so that it can ground and provide factual information to your agents. All right, so let me spend 30 seconds talking about the recent product updates on AI search. So over the past year, we've been evolving the product from a black box to a clear box approach. So customers, they want the ease of the managed service, but we know often there are knobs that you would like to tune. So we've introduced expanded controls, including ranking visibility, custom ranking. All of that is now GA. We also doubled down on product stability, so focusing on ingestion reliability, easy onboardability, and deep observability. So you could see what's going on, debug issues, understand the ranking, and understand what you could do with it. Another update is configurable pricing. So you'll see that it's available directly in the console. We want to give you options, so you don't have to necessarily use all of the capabilities. You could break down and use only the ones that you need. And lastly, it's an agent-ready tool. AI mode, which Yeye will soon demo for you all, is available. And you can connect your data store, and you can make it available through AI mode and Gemini Enterprise, as well as connecting through ADK and OneMCP. All right, so I talked about Clearbox, and there's a lot. So we offer a lot of customization. So what you're seeing now, this is the end-to-end pipeline. But I want you to look at the blue boxes, because those are your configuration points. So we give you hooks every single stage of the way. So from query processing, retrieval, ranking, you can bring in your own business logic, boost and vary. You are always in control. On the generation side as well, you could choose which model you want to use. You could give your own instructions, prompt tuning. All of that's available in the product. So you get the quality, you get the scale, you get the speed of a fully managed Google service, but you have controls that you and your engineering team need. And now to show you how we're bringing all of this into this new agentic era, I'm going to pass over the mic to Yeye.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. So I am extremely excited to introduce AI mode. So we're announcing the private GA for the next generation of AI mode in our managed service, which is AI Search's Answer API. This is powered by our new agentic framework, and it really marks a transformative shift, turning answers into actions. It mirrors the capabilities of AI mode on Google.com. So AI mode changes how users engage and convert really by seamlessly integrating multimodal interactions for search, recommendations, and actions. Some of our key capabilities include, first, the ability to plug in custom APIs, existing agents, and external systems using standardized MCP. Second is you can anchor your agents in reality through our world-class grounding with first-party Google tools, including Google Search and Google Maps. And then we're moving beyond text with voice mode, so with native audio input and output for really fluid, natural, two-way conversations. And now I am going to show you a live demo. All right, can you bring up the demo on the screen? Perfect. So now let's think about, this is a relocation concierge. So think about how you would currently, if you were to relocate to a new city with your family, what would the steps be that you would do now? You'd probably search for the area, the town, you'd probably search for schools, ratings, neighborhood, safety, convenience. You'd probably browse listings on a real estate site. You'd filter down based off of bedrooms, based off of price. A little bit clunky, a lot of different steps, right? And so now let me show you how we do that with AI mode with just a couple of turns. So here, you've got your relocation concierge. I'm here to help with your relocation, so what do you want to know? So I'm going to say, hey, I'm heading to Yale. My husband and I are hunting for a house under 700K. We've got an elementary and a middle schooler, so we're looking for a home in a nice neighborhood with great schools that isn't too crazy of a commute. So I'm gonna break that down while the concierge is acting right now. So let's break down really the advanced query parsing and natural language processing first. So let me pull this up a little bit. First, Yale, right? That acts really as a primary geolocation filter. And it's set in that schema, so it focuses the search on, for example, the New Haven area, but I'm not saying New Haven, I'm just saying Yale, right? And then 700K really serves as this hard price constraint. And elementary and middle schooler, these values really infer really additional requirements, like the number of bedrooms, for example, and also what schools I'm interested in. Nice neighborhood with great schools. That really leverages the LLM's internal knowledge to assess that area's desirability beyond really standard database filters. And it includes web search to determine kind of quality of local schools, right? And then not a crazy commute, that triggers our map grounding tool to then calculate and verify travel times to the Yale area. So taking that really big, complex query and turning it now into agentic flow. So what's happening behind the scenes from an AI mode perspective? First, there's intent classification. It's really this sequential agentic flow that calls a classifier to determine the specific intent type. Now, these intent types can actually be customized as well. And then there's a main agent that's dynamically loaded based on the identified intent. That's also configured with a specific prompt and tools like search and maps and MCPs. And then there's a parallel execution to identify properties matching that user's criteria, my criteria. And then there's an MCP call that gets, the school properties MCP, for example, to retrieve ratings from schools associated with the search results. And then there's a summarization and planning where we review the retrieved data to summarize findings and then make an implicit decision on how to respond and which tools to call. So then you can see all of these results here. You also have a nice UI that you can customize. Now, I want to say for my next turn, I fly in next Monday morning. Book me tours for the first 2. So now this query, let's break that down. So next Monday morning serves as this grounding in time for the query. It establishes this temporal window for the action. And then book me tours triggers our tours API or MCP. with property viewing, schedule, lookups, and then there's an implicit intent to proactively create a calendar invite, right? And so let me see, okay. I'm gonna give you plenty of time to get from the airport. So that's great. So I have a 1 o'clock and a 2 o'clock showing. So let me look over here on my calendar and flying to the airport. And then here I have my property tours already scheduled on my calendar. And so just with 2 quick turns, without all of the different steps that I would normally have had to take, this can be available to users in a really seamless way, and then enable that answer to action. So with that, I will turn it over to Cliff Levy to talk a bit more about the Wirecutter. Thank you.
Thank you. It is very exciting. I hope we can have some conversations very soon about it. So thank you all for having us here. I'm excited to talk to you about this partnership between Wirecutter, which is the product recommendation site of the New York Times, and Google Cloud. What we're talking about here is Wirecutter Finder, which is the Gen AI search on Wirecutter. It's an initiative that we've worked on for the last couple of years. I've worked on a lot of projects at the New York Times. This is one that I'm among the most proud of. When we do innovation at the New York Times, we talk a lot about how do we change the way we work, how do we change user experience, how do we innovate rapidly with a lot of urgency, but how do we do it in ways that are rooted in our core values? And I feel that Wirecutter Finder is a great example of that, and I'm so grateful to our partners at Google Cloud for working on this with us, because the results have been really striking, and I'm excited to show them to you. So let's start with a little bit about Wirecutter. Wirecutter, as I said, is the product recommendation side of the Times. I'm presuming you guys know about Wirecutter? Yeah? Thank you. Wirecutter has its own independent newsroom. We have more than 160 journalists who independently review products. We recommend products to our audience. Those recommendations are rooted in integrity, in rigorous testing, in expertise, in experience, and most importantly, in trust. And I'm going to linger on trust for a second, because that has been a key to this partnership. How do we move into the Gen AI search era in ways that continue that bond that we have with our audience? It was enormously important to us, maintaining that trust of our audience and maintaining that integrity. And it worked out great because of the partnership with Google Cloud. That trust has yielded tremendous results. Last year, we drove more than $1 billion in commerce. That means people read our journalism, we gave them recommendations on products to buy, they bought them. And our audience has grown significantly in recent years, 3 times, because people believe in Wirecutter and Wirecutter's journalism. One last thing about me, I'm the deputy publisher and general manager of Wirecutter. I'm a longtime journalist. I've been at the Times for 35 years. I came over to Wirecutter a few years ago, and I oversee our journalism, our independent newsroom, as well as our business operations. So I love Wirecutter, and I love the New York Times. There's an aspect to the New York Times and Wirecutter and news organization websites that most people don't like so much. And that is on-site search. I don't know if any of you have had that experience where you're on a news organization website and you're using traditional search and you just want to find an answer, and it's very frustrating. It's very exasperating. I've actually gone to parties where people have just buttonholed me and complained to me about their traditional search on the New York Times website or on a host of other websites. That is in part because it's just very difficult to get right, because we're all extremely concerned about accuracy and integrity and ensuring that what we give the readers is rooted in our core values. So that was our challenge. How can we move into the Gen AI search era in ways that are rooted in those values? How can we ensure the accuracy of the results that we're giving people in a Gen AI search mode? You'll just see here's a classic example. People will go to Google search, traditional Google search, and type in Wirecutter best frying pan. They will not go to, before that is, they will not go to Wirecutter's website and type in best frying pan. So let's talk a bit about the partnership. Again, we cared tremendously about the integrity of the results that we give. Obviously, large language models often have hallucinations. That was not tolerable for us. It can't be that our journalism was rigorous and we were so careful about facts, and then have a large language model produce information that was not factual, that had misstatements, that was riddled with errors. So that was sort of table stakes for us. We needed to find a partner who's shared our values, and that was really at the core of our work with Google Cloud. They immediately understood what we were trying to do. They were immediately supportive of us, and together we produced Wirecutter Finder. Wirecutter Finder is our GenAI experience. I hope after this talk you'll go onto wirecutter.com and use it. The results, both qualitatively and quantitatively, have been pretty startling. It has given readers a much better experience, and the quantitative data is really striking. Search results now deliver a CTR of 80%. And the number that I'm especially proud of is that 40% number, the second one. We closely track what are called product clicks because they're really an expression of us helping readers, serving readers what they want. If they click on a buy button, that means we have helped them, we've given them a recommendation that works for them. The number of product clicks from the search experience on Wirecutter jumped by 40% because of this partnership between Google Cloud and Wirecutter. That result was just remarkable for us. So this is a little bit obviously more technical, but this is how we did it. We moved from Elasticsearch, which is just all about keywords and really is often not that helpful, to a search that understands intent using Vertex AI and RAG architecture. It actually understands the intent of the query and then gives you a response that explains, like understands what you're seeking and gives you the information you're looking for. We also created a golden data set, which was incredibly important to us. Again, coming back to integrity and coming back to trust. We wanted to ensure that the GenAI search was rooted in Wirecutter journalism alone. If it's rooted in Wirecutter journalism, we were pretty confident that it would give an accurate result that readers could trust. So we created this golden data set that essentially walled off other information and ensured that the GenAI search was grounded in that. And then product decoupling was the other part that was just incredibly important. We were able to use Vertex in working with Google Cloud to ensure that we could actually take the journalism and in a way kind of chunk it up. And from those different parts, serve up different pieces of journalism and different modes that would be most helpful to our audience. And again, for us, it's about serving the audience. How can we use GenAI search to serve the audience even better and give people what they want? So you'll see there, that's the traditional list that Elasticsearch gives. On the right, you see Wirecutter Finder. It not only gives you the answer in conversational language, but it also surfaces the actual products themselves. If you want to go buy something immediately, good, go do it. In the old way, we essentially made you work. Work, work, work. We're not going to give you what you want. We're going to give you some breadcrumbs to what you want, and then we're going to make you go work to find it. Again, very frustrating. So again, this is Elasticsearch. You'll see this is a classic Elasticsearch. We surface some journalism. It's great journalism, but it's not necessarily what you're looking for. This is Wirecutter Finder. You'll see we are putting in that same search term. We're giving a conversational result. We're giving some citations, and we're giving what we call product cards. And this was formally launched in March 2026, last month, but many months before that, we were building up to it. Finally, where are we going next? We're just thrilled about how this partnership with Google Cloud has gone, and we're here to just do so much more. We're talking about how do we move to agentic search. We're talking about how do we use Wirecutter Finder as the basis for a much more personalized Wirecutter experience, in part because we can do so much more with intent. And based on intent, we can give you new journalism, we can surface new collections of products, and we can just help you get more of what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, which is to serve our audience and to ensure people find our journalism helpful and compelling and satisfying. Thank you. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague from Priceline.
Hi everyone, I'm Jishnu. I'm a group engineering lead leading the search platform group at Priceline. So today I'm going to talk about how we transformed conversational search with Vertex AI search at Priceline. Before I dive into this, the last time any of you planned the trip, did you know where you wanted to go? Maybe it's a wrong question. I know all of us travel to Vegas for the conference, but usually when people plan their travel, they don't know where they want to go. They often, research, they use search engines for that. So maybe let's start with a bit about Priceline. Anybody here used Priceline in the past? Yeah, except the Priceline colleagues, but I see a few hands. Nice, so we like to call ourselves as deal makers. Our goal is to make sure that we are giving the best deals out there to our customers, be it a hotel, a flight, a rental car. We want to make sure we are giving whatever best is there out for our customers. So traditionally, all of our customers, mostly they come to a website with a keyword, either a city, a destination. They put that in the search form, they do some filters, and then we return the results back to them. And then they start their booking journey. That's how they mostly do it. But like our colleagues mentioned here, the search is transforming. So mostly now people come and explore. They sometimes come with some vague queries. They try to ask questions. They try to have a conversation with us. So that's where the Penny comes in. So Penny is Priceline's AI travel assistant. So you can use Penny. You can have a conversation. You can explore and ask vague or exploratory questions. She will understand and respond back to you. So you can use Penny for planning your travel. So let me show you how this works in action. So as you can see, a customer is coming in and asking for a lakeside vacation with some budget constraint. So Penny is not just responding or returning a result back. Penny is understanding the intent. So Penny is basically figuring out the location intent as New York, and it's also prioritizing and understanding the experience, and then returning the results based on the search intent that customer is making. So this is a new kind of search. So as I mentioned, the problem for us become how do we support this new kind of search? So in order to achieve this, we wanted to do a few things. First, we wanted to transform the unstructured search into structured search. And secondly, we wanted to optimize the ranking because users are having a conversation. So we want to understand what users actually want and then return the results based on that. And we wanted a system which is efficient and which can scale. That was another use case we were looking for. And this is all happening real time. User is actually using our website to book for a travel, and they are actually exploring and asking questions. So we wanted to do this on top of our real-time inventory because the prices are changing, the inventories are changing rapidly. So we wanted to do this in real time. So behind a simple search, a lot of intelligence is happening. So this is our architecture. Let me show you how this works. On the left-hand side, you can see a multi-step architecture. So at some point, Penny will figure out, okay, now I have all the details what customer is looking for. And it's time to maybe recommend some results back to the customer. And we start with hotel generation. We use an LLM to generate the hotel, and then we do the internal matching with our inventory, and then do the ranking. We optimize and sort the results based on the customer intent, and finally return the results back to the customer. So this was our system. This was working well, but it wasn't very flexible for us to scale. So from there, we moved from a multi-step pipeline to a unified signal-driven system, as you can see on the right-hand side. So now on the new system, it becomes a simple, and the architecture becomes simple. The multi-step pipeline becomes a single system. So this is our new architecture with VAS. As you can see, once we summarize the conversation, we are sending that summary to VAS. And you can think of VAS as a combination of search, inventory, it understands the user intent, and ranking is built in. And all of that will be used, and then the VAS search engine will figure out, based on the customer intent, what they're looking for, and then return the results back to the customer. So the key shift here is ranking is built in. Previously, we had that multi-step system, so we removed that multi-step system into a very simple, unified architecture. To achieve this, we closely partnered with Google. So it wasn't like using another product, it was a partnership. We worked together on indexing the data, finalizing the indexes, and finalizing the search schema. Also, we fine-tuned the machine learning models powering the ranking of the results. And more importantly, the system understands the customer intent and create results based on that. And all of our data is in GCP. All our inventory, customer data is in GCP, so it was very easy for us to scale. So it was easy for us to sync the data from BigQuery to VAS AI Store. So what we achieved with this, as you can see, we reduced response time by 5 seconds by using this new approach because we removed that multi-step pipeline and moved into a unified architecture. Second was the scalability. The system is very simple now. We can add additional products. We can easily sync the data. It's easy to scale. Third important point, the relevance part, because now the ranking is built in. We don't have to re-rank the results after a normal keyword search or after LLM generates something. It's all built in. It's not an afterthought. So all of this together helped us to improve the customer engagement and the conversion. And the goal remains same. We wanted to give better results back to the customer. We are not stopping here. This is just a start for us. We wanted to do further personalization. We wanted to add customer activity data, user events to the AI store. That way we can further tune and improve the experience for the customer in more personalized way. And beyond search, this is a platform we created. So beyond search, we wanted to use this in other part of the customer journey, more on cross-sell or whatever stage they are on their customer journey. We wanted to help them achieve a better result. Third, we want to expand this platform. We wanted to scale the conversational AI into other parts. Right now, we are supporting hotel and restaurants with VAS primarily. We want to expand into flights, rental car packages, and all that. So that's all from my end. Thank you so much.